guys. How you doing? Happy Monday night, everybody. I hope everybody's had a good Labor Day weekend, holiday, and you're ready to get back to work tomorrow.
No.
No. Well, let's do some shout outs then. Hey to Melissa and friend over here on Instagram. And let's see, I've got to get my Facebook feed going. Sorry about that.
Oh, very.
I am. So, dear David, what's for dinner tonight?
Oh, goodness. Say downtown, or kind of downtown. And we absolutely gorged on sushi.
Mm-hmm.
What's for dinner tonight? Rest is for dinner tonight. Snacks. Probably a can of sardines.
Yeah, 'cause I love sardines and saltine crackers. Maybe a little fruit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need. Like, you don't need a big dinner right before you go to bed.
No, we need to break.
Yes, we do. Well, I'll see you with sardines later.
Have a good night.
Bye. Hey, let's do some shout outs over here on Facebook. Hey to Sharon Goff Wilson, Arthea Morgan, Dana Likens Fleener, Pamela Downey, Steve Hawkins, Rob Abbott. Okay, can somebody give me a sound check? Because Rob says that my sound went out. Sound check, sound check. I know you guys over here on Instagram don't need a sound check because nothing is ever wrong with the sound on Instagram. And let's see. Let me see. I'm just going to go ahead and take that off and see if that helps. Okay. So, Rob, can you... Okay, so it's better now. Yay! Maybe it was just a glitch. A Monday night glitch, right? Good to see you guys. And this is a very interesting topic that we're going to go over this evening. I do have some items that are haunted that were upstairs, but they're not cursed items, they're haunted items. And I tell you what, I'll bring those down on another night. We will discuss those on a different night, haunted items, sort of as a precursor to the haunted items hunt. And what a good time we had last week doing that haunted items hunt. That was a really fun Sunday, wasn't it? Hey to Snaps and model some official over here on Instagram. Good to see you. Hey to Melissa Begley over here on Instagram. Or Facebook, sorry. I got 3 things going on here. It's hard to keep up with everything. So let's just dive into our topic. But before we get started with that, these days I do have a couple of sponsors for the show. And so let's talk about them for just a second before we get into our stuff, because last week I did forget, and that's a big no. Okay, so if you like paranormal topics, right, and you want more content and it's hard to find a good show, this is the place to go. It's called feedspot.com, and we have the good fortune of being featured on this broadcasting network. And they've been so kind to put our show like in the top 17 podcasts on the broadcast. And there are a ton of good paranormal shows on here. So it's feedspot.com. They have all kinds of really interesting paranormal broadcasts. So give them a try and see what you think. Also sponsoring the show is Fresh Cap mushroom extracts. Now, these, you know how, and you've probably seen it, where mushroom coffee is so big right now, it's so huge. Well, there's a really expensive kind, I won't say the name, but Fresh Cap is ultra pure. It's very high quality and at a very good price. if you've been interested in anything like that, you can get a 10% discount on your purchase using the discount code that's on the screen right now, which is Kathryn10, Kathryn 10. And thank you to FeedSpot and FreshCap for supporting the show, okay? Because this equipment breaks down and we need help replacing stuff. Hey to Fred Rayburn, Mitzi Tribble, Ina Thompson, and Cheryl Meister. Good to see you guys. So cursed items. Have you guys got any ideas of what you think a cursed item would be? And why is it a cursed item? Well, let's go over what a haunted item is first, because like a haunted item is one step towards an item being cursed. Hey to Stacy Jackson Pitt, good to see you tonight. So a cursed item is one step past a haunted item. And what is a haunted item? Now, you guys know, like it's once a month on Sunday. I do the haunted items hunt for you guys, and there's 2 items on there that have tested out to be haunted, and there are 2 items on there that are decoys. And so what you're supposed to do is practice using your intuition to look at the picture and see if you can feel intuitively which items are haunted and which items are decoys. Now, surprisingly, I think it was last Sunday we had the haunted items hunt, but surprisingly, a ton of people were guessing really well, and your intuition was spot on. So what makes an item haunted first is that the item, for example, this item right here should not emanate an electromagnetic field. And for those of you guys on Facebook and YouTube, when I do like this, I'm showing this over here on Instagram because we're streaming on 3 different places right now. This item should not have an electromagnetic field. And if it did, what that would mean is there's something imprinted on the item. So it would be the energy of either a spirit or a person that's attached to the item, or it would be a traumatic imprint like war, murder, suicides, something that scatters the electromagnetic energy to where it imprints on to the item. So that would be a haunted item. Now, the difference in a haunted item and a cursed item is that cursed items have an electromagnetic imprint, or they have an energy imprint of either a person, a spirit, or a traumatic imprint, just like a haunted item. You know, it can be war, murder, suicide. And cursed items can be classified as unintentional and also intentional. So the cursed items are imprinted with a specific type of energy or thought form. And when enough energy is put into a thought form, that's when you're able to imprint it on an item, a person, or a location. Hey to Sandra Lee Small and Jill Jones. So Rob says maybe we can arrange a show together soon. Spooky season is coming. Yes, it is. And a special shout out to Richie Carolyn Grant Gambrel. Good to see you, girl. How's the South? How's Arizona? Hey to Phil over here on Instagram and Lark Autumn. Good to see you guys. And if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments. I'll be looking down here at the comments frequently to see if anybody has a question. So let's go over the category of unintentional items that are classified as cursed. So unintentional items that are cursed it can be imprints or layers of negative imprints upon an item. So usually when an item is cursed, it is due to a layering effect or a huge effect of a negative energy. And it can be caused by a location that is negatively heavy with a really evil or horrible imprint. Let's say, for example, if you think about Auschwitz or Buchenwald, that would be a place or a location that is inherently negative, and the imprint is so much in the environment that there's not a lot that you could do to reverse that or get rid of it because of that heavy imprint. Now, when an object like this, let's say, is in the possession of somebody who emanates a large amount of evil, negative energy, like depression, anger, despair, jealousy, greed, rage, those type of energies go past the body. And if they are conglomerated for a long time, it actually creates what we call a thought form. And that thought form can be imprinted on the location or on the item that's in close proximity to the person that's creating this huge amount of negative energy. So the item or the location acts like a negative feedback loop, causing continuous negative situations from happening. So let me explain this a little bit better. So the person is putting off a large amount of negative energy, or the location is putting off a large amount of negative energy. This creates what we call thought forms. Now, the thought form is sort of like a rudimentary type of energetic thing or being, and it feeds off of and is created by negative energy. And so it causes things to happen so that the negative energy that it feeds off of is continually being manifested so that it can stay in its thought form state. So we have this negative feedback loop going over and over and over. So that is, especially if the person is not aware that they are the manifestation of all of this negative energy, it can be very difficult to try to get someone to see that they're the causative factor, their thoughts or their feelings are the causative factor behind everything that's bad that's going on in their life right now. So let's see where we're at in my notes here. The item or, the negative feedback loop causing continuous negative situations happening. The person in ownership of the item or location in their future experiences, what happens is they become entrained to this negative effect with the item or the location. And what it does is it causes negative wave effects that produce bad luck and negative events. So it's really sad, because if it's a person who is constantly putting off those negative emotions of anger, frustration, depression, despair, jealousy, greed, rage, then they will have a bad existence, because like attracts like in the universe. And if that's what you're putting out, that's certainly what you're getting back. Let me check for questions here. Hey to Dorothy Garrison, good to see you. And to Nubia over here on Instagram. Now, removing the person from the location, let's say it's a location that has all this negative energy or cursed energy. Removing the person from the location or removing the cursed items can often elevate energy, causing a positive chain of events. Any negative attunement is not likely to occur once you remove the person from the location or you remove the item from the location. Now, and that's why it's so very important that when a person seeks help, usually, and if they are in a very bad situation and they have to go off to get treatment, whether it's, substance abuse or mental health, and they go to a facility, removal from the environment, because there may be something in the environment that's eliciting the creation of this cursed environment. So removal of the person from the environment is super important. And many people, when they have to go back to the environment that they were removed from, will have problems again, because we haven't removed the ideological factors behind what was creating the negative energy or the cursed type of energy. So now let's talk about intentional cursed items. And Rob, this is where you come in. Okay. Intentional cursed items, and this is when a person or a spirit, now I want to be very clear, spirits that have crossed over or crossed on can still affect physical items that are in the world today. So you don't have to just worry about a person living, but there are people who've passed on that can curse an item. So it's just when a person or spirit intentionally utilizes psychokinetic energy, okay, generated by themselves. The spirit can generate psychokinetic energy, and so can you as a living thing, to imprint on an item or a location. Okay. This creates a wave function of causality to occur, and imprints usually in a negative result, because it is much easier to produce psychokinetic energy in an evil way than it is in a good way. And most people have problems generating psychokinetic energy to affect the world in a positive way. But it is very easy for people to produce psychokinetic energy in a negative way because it's almost automatic. It's almost built in to us. So the the wave function actual of negativity, this is what causes bad things to happen through entrainment of the negative thought form that's attached to the psychokinetic energy. So I hope you guys are following me. It's a little bit in depth, I know. Hey to Maya Compton over here on Facebook, and John Dixon on Instagram, and Shirley. Good to see you guys. So when a person intentionally curses an item, they are producing this, they're creating a wave function from the psychokinetic energy and imprinting it and attaching it to an item. Now, what can we do about this? Rob, this is where you come in. Hey to Danielle. Good to see you tonight. So can this be undone? This is the big question. Can this be undone? And the question is answered yes. This can be undone more easily if the target, and the target is the person who's being cursed or the location that's being cursed. That's labeled as the target. If the target can produce an equal amount of psychokinetic energy or intention to overcome the negativity that's been placed, the psychokinetic energy that you generate as the target has to dominate the amount of energy being generated by the curse that was laid down. So you either have to generate enough positive energy, just enough psychokinetic energy, period, to come above the level of the psychokinetic energy that was created by the originator of the curse. And like I said, a lot of people have trouble with producing positive psychokinetic projections, but it's very easy to produce psychokinetic negative projection. So now, if the target, being you, who's being cursed, can't produce enough psychokinetic energy, then the target, person who's being cursed, has to employ a person who is practiced at using their own psychokinetic energy to remove the imprint or disperse the wave function of the energy that was created, aka Rob Abbott as a practitioner of the arts. So if you can't remove it yourself, if you can't generate enough psychokinetic energy to come above what has been done, then certainly you have to employ somebody who is very practiced at generating enough psychokinetic energy and ritual work to try to reverse this. Can it be reversed in every instance? No. Sometimes the energy is imprinted so much that it can't be reversed. Like what we were talking about earlier as a cursed location that is inherently negative that I don't think could ever be reversed. Yeah, Auschwitz, Buchenwald, all of those places that are so heavily imprinted with evil and negativity and death. I doubt if any of those places could ever be reversed in the negative energy or the cursed type of energy that has occurred there. And it would be very interesting to see if those places have things constantly that are going wrong or that happen. And I really haven't heard of anybody doing investigations at those type of places, but it would be very interesting to see what type of energy could be picked up from, going there and monitoring a place like that. Well, I'm glad this information was helpful to you. And I will hop off here and let you get back to your Monday night. And as always, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys have a great week and you've had a good holiday. And I will see you next Monday night. As always, kisses from Kentucky, and I will see you next week.